Hey, Eddie. Would you like to talk to my partner Chris on the Classic Metal Show?
Is this actually Eddie Trunk?
Here's Eddie Trunk. He's standing here with me.
All right.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, Eddie. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good, thank you.
Excellent. So how was the show out there tonight?
It was hot. It was hot, and I think it ran a little bit late, and two bands had to cut some songs, but otherwise most of the bands that I saw turned in some pretty good performances. It seemed like a fun day. Excellent.
Well, Eddie, I got to ask you, man, because you're out there traveling, all over the country when these big shows are going on, and how has that been affecting to you, to your career, and do you think that it further grows your legacy with the hard rock community?
Wait, I'm sorry, Laura, it's a little loud here, so I missed that last thing.
I'm just curious how you feel that being out there, emceeing so many of these shows affects your career.
Well, I mean, I'm just lucky that in these environments, at these settings, there's a great deal of people that listen to or watch what I do and care about it, and it's really nice. And because of that, I'm given these opportunities. It's kind of a two-way street because it's great for me to get out and see so many people that are supporters of what I do.
Sure.
And at the same token, I, in turn, support the event because I will go on my shows and talk about it and pump it up, and I'll have artists on that are performing. I'll give tickets away. I'll use my social media to help promote it. So it's a little bit of it's a little bit of a back and forth. We kind of mutually help out each other, and I'm happy to see so many of them going on. I just I worry that some of them maybe won't last because there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of the same bands playing a lot of the same events, and you just worry that how many of them can sustain themselves and keep growing and do well. But I'm pulling for all of them and rooting for all of them, and I'm always happy to be associated with them.
Absolutely. Well, Eddie, you've had great success with your book. Where can people buy your book and find out what's next on That Metal Show and all those things?
Well, we don't know yet what's going on with the TV show. That, as usual, is a network decision, so we're just waiting to hear from them. Hopefully we'll hear something soon as far as what we're going to do next.
Okay.
The books are available, signed copies you can get through my site. Just go to eddietrunk.com, and if you hit books, you can order either of the books. I'll write whatever you want in them, send them out to you. And, follow on Twitter. All my appearances are on the homepage of my site. And the newest thing I probably have going over the last year and a half is a podcast that's done really, really well. The latest one is with Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, and they're free. Doesn't cost you a penny to get them, and the new ones go up every Thursday. So if people are interested in downloading or streaming that, you can go to a site, podcastone.com. It's podcastone.com. You just search my name. You'll see all my podcasts up there. Again, they're totally free. You can download them, stream them, and you can also download them on iTunes for free as well. If you just go to podcasts on iTunes and search my name. So a lot of great reaction to that. People can hear that anywhere in the world.
Right.
And it's in-depth interviews with a lot of cool artists, so that's been doing really well. And see where that takes me next.
Certainly, man. And Eddie, with that I, me thing, the podcast, especially with the Bruce Dickinson, was fantastic, man. Just a great interview.
Yeah, thanks. That was a lot of fun. That was just done this past Tuesday, and then it got posted on Thursday. Every once in a while I have those opportunities to do special events with major artists, and we did that with a live audience at the Hard Rock in Times Square. So that was a really cool special thing to do. Last time I did a live one with an audience was with Joe Perry before his last book came out. So it's really cool to do stuff like that when you get a real big artist on the hook, and I hope to do more of those going forward as well. But I got to say this, one of the cool things about podcasts, too, is you don't have the pressure of worrying about ratings and stuff that you would with radio, so you can also have some of the lesser-known guys, and that makes for some great conversation and some great stories. I mean, I love talking to those guys just as much. Yeah. I just did an interview with Paul Chapman from UFO, who I'm a huge fan of, and I probably wouldn't have been able to do that interview on regular radio because he's just not that enough of a known guy.
Sure.
But it was having the platform of the podcast was a great way to do that. I also had producers on. I did Bob Rock. I've got Michael Wagner coming up. So the podcast kind of serves two things. It's like you get, for every Bruce Dickinson and Bill Ward and Brian May, there's also just as many, kind of cool guys that don't get the spotlight all the time to talk to.
Absolutely. Well, Eddie, I'll let you get back to it, but make sure you make Neeley give you a T-shirt, man. He's been wanting to give you one for years.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Good talking to you.
All right, Eddie. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye. All right, bro. That was the great Eddie Trunk.
Dude.
He got in the I, me right in a question, and Trunk didn't even get it.
I mixed in the I, me into a question, and he blew right by him.